Retro Arcade is a worker placement game in which players build their own arcades. Gameplay occurs over 3 rounds, in which players take turns placing workers to perform actions. I will now show you a few example turns to introduce the core rules of the game. I have a 2-player game set up here, and we are at the midpoint of the game. On their turns, players place workers onto a single action space to perform actions. There are 2 types of workers in Retro Arcade: gamer dice and recruiters. Gamer dice are used to perform actions on action spaces, while recruiters allow the player to retrieve these dice to play games players have in their arcade machines and refill their worker supply. For my turn, I'm going to perform an action to collect coins. To do so, I take my gamer dice from my waiting area and place it on the coins action space. I may choose to use multiple gamer dice at once, as long as their color or values are equal. This would allow me to perform the base action multiple times. However, I will only use 1 die on this turn. When placing dice, I should try to match the bonus icons in the row and column where I place my die to get the most out of my action. Each action space has 2 bonuses depicted at the top of the space. For the coin action space, I receive 1 extra coin for each bonus. I show that I earned both bonuses by placing my bonus markers on the board. These are used to both block other players from achieving bonuses, and also to allow me to automatically earn bonuses on future turns. Since I was able to match both bonuses, I earned 3 coins. When I am done, gameplay passes to the next player. For my next turn, I will get some games. This time I'm going to use 2 gamer dice, which will allow me to perform the action twice, so I can purchase 2 games. I want to go here since I have a bonus marker in this column, but the space is occupied by a gamer die. I can pay 1 of any resource to the supply to push the die off the action space, and sending it to the overflow area. Though I cannot achieve the color bonus since the blue player is blocking the space, I do achieve 1 bonus since my bonus marker is already in this column. But to take the bonus, I must remove the bonus marker. Since I only earned 1 bonus, I can choose which one I want. I will choose the Refill Games Display bonus. The games display is only refilled when the refill bonus is taken. To do so, I shift all the games in the top row to the bottom, pushing out and discarding any games in the way. Then I refill all empty spaces. Once I am done, I can purchase games for coins. These are the prices for games in the top row, and these are the prices for the games in the bottom row. I purchased 2 games since I used 2 dice to perform the action. I immediately load the games into my arcade machines. This turn, I want to perform the build action. Now that I have games loaded into my machines, I have access to my arcade machine powers. On my turn, as a free action before I place a worker, I can insert 1 coin into an arcade machine with a game in it to perform its power. For each time I can perform the power, I get the reward listed on the game card. The purple machine's power is to move my bonus markers onto any bonus icons, even if they are occupied. Since I can do that twice, I will earn 2 tickets depicted on the game card. Now that I have set up for my turn, I'm going to perform the build action. I earn both bonuses, but remove my bonus markers from the board. The bonuses will allow me to build 1 extra tile, for a total of 2, and get a discount of 1 resource. I can build any of the tiles here for their listed price in tickets. 4 tickets for an arcade machine, in which I will take the arcade set tile and the arcade machine of the matching color. 2 tickets for a concession stand, which earns me the depicted good for each gamer die that paths over the tile during the arcade walk. And 1 ticket for a sub-genre tile, which must be placed adjacent to an arcade machine to extend that machine's reach, and also earning me set collection points at the game's end for each unique tile I have built. Since I have 2 tickets, and a discount of 1, I will buy 1 concession stand and 1 sub-genre tile and place them on my arcade floor. For my next turn, notice that I have no gamer dice or recruiters in my waiting area. This means at the beginning of my turn, as a free action, I can take back as many recruiters as I want from the action board. I will choose to take back 2 of them, leaving 1 behind. I will talk about the strategy behind this later. Now for my main action, I place a recruiter. I can place it on any of these recruiter spaces. When I do, I can collect the number of gamer dice listed on the recruiter from any of the adjacent action spaces. If I place it on an edge space, I can also collect from the overflow area. I place my recruiter and collect 3 dice, placing the collected dice in the queue on my player board. While other players are taking their turns, I can perform the arcade walk, where gamer dice walk through my arcade to play games, and after which become workers again for future turns. To do so, I take dice in my queue and line them up on spaces matching their value or color at the edge of my arcade floor. I can use these modifiers below my queue to adjust the dice before I line them up by paying the indicated resources. But I don't think I will do so at this time. Once I am ready, the gamers then walk in a straight line across the arcade floor, earning me resources for any concession stands they path over, and stopping at arcade machines to play games. Once all gamers have stopped or exited the arcade floor at the other side, I am ready to play my games. The gamers play games in the machines matching the tile that they landed on. Each game has its own set of objectives that are fulfilled by getting the right combination of gamer dice. This invader game requires dice of the indicated colors, red and green, and a die of the indicated value, 5. This green 5 I have satisfies both the green and 5 objective, and this red satisfies the other, so this game is complete. Fighting games require a die of a specific color and value. Then the total value of all dice must exceed the fighter's hit points on the left. The green one is able to accomplish both of those objectives, and the game is complete. Once I am done with my arcade walk, I place my completed games beside my player board, and then re-roll my gamer dice and place them in my waiting area, ready to be used as workers again. After my arcade walk, I'm ready to take another turn. I want to take the score action to score my completed games. I place a gamer die on the score action space. The space is occupied, so I would have to pay 1 of any resource. But remember that recruiter I left on the action board earlier? If I have a recruiter adjacent to an action space, I no longer have to pay a fee when placing on an occupied space. The die is pushed off and still goes to the overflow area. When scoring games, I look at my completed game cards. I get to move my joystick up 1 space on the respective game's track for each icon depicted on my cards. So in this case, 2 on the invader track and 1 on the fighting track. Scoring games allows me to unlock upgrades on my player board, earn special attraction tiles that give me unique abilities, and then points for reaching the top of the track the fastest. Additionally, at the game's end, I earn points per completed game card of that type based on how far I've progressed in each track. Once I am done scoring, I put my games in the completed games area of my player board for endgame scoring. Then I move the round countdown marker left by 1 space. When the countdown marker reaches the end space, the round is over. The player that moved the marker gets the starting player token for the next round, and all other players get 1 more turn. Once all players have taken their turns, players evaluate the high score goal for the round. Whoever performs the best on the goal gets to choose a bonus first. After which, players must discard the game's display and refill it with the next level game deck. Any uncompleted games left over in the player's arcade machines must be discarded. Gameplay for the next round proceeds clockwise from the player with the starting player token. After the 3rd round, the game ends. Players evaluate the high score goal for the last time and then calculate their points. Players earn points in the following ways. Points from the scoreboard, so points per completed game card, and then a bonus if they reach the top of the track. Points from the high score goals. Points listed on their player board, so the number of built arcade machines, set collection from sub-genre tiles, and any points listed on collected tiles. Lastly, the player who ends the game with the starting player token gets an additional 3 points. The player with the most points wins. I hope this has given you an idea on how to play Retro Arcade. Of course, a more detailed rule explanation can be found in the rulebook. Thanks for watching.